great artist Caravaggio is often referred to as the bad boy of art. It can be said that during his lifetime, he was extremely wild and was known for his violent altercations, his legal troubles, and running away as a fugitive. But, despite all of this controversy and all this trouble within his personal life and, this bad boy image, he really was an artist who, in many ways, changed the world and changed art. His contribution to the art were groundbreaking. He sort of brought this raw, sort of unvarnished realism to his paintings that contrasted sharply with the idealist beauty of the Renaissance. He was a master of using light and dark for the emotion and the emotional appeal. Genius was in his innovative techniques with emotional realism that really captured the viewers. He was able to really capture this emotion in a way that no other artist during his time could. He used ordinary people as models, which was kind of a little bit more unheard of during that time where, this was during the time when, the Catholic Church was very much in power in the art world because of the Renaissance. And he was using, ordinary people. Maybe some of them were some guys he met down at the bar, people that he was brawling with at the bars or just these ordinary people. And he'd use them as these models in these, very important types of roles, of Christ or other types of important saints. His art was really was different from his contemporaries and what they were painting during that time. So you could say he really was a trailblazer and was a leader in his art. But despite this, he really was the bad boy of art during his lifetime. He had an altercation in 1606, which was very famous, where he killed a man in a fight that forced him to flee Rome as a fugitive. So here he is. He's starting to get his fame and starting to become known as an artist. And what does he do? He gets himself in a fight and he kills somebody. And then he has to run away as a fugitive so he doesn't end up in prison. So then he spends his time kind of running around to all these different places while he's painting, while he's becoming more famous, and essentially escaping from the law because of the fact that he had this murder charge over his head. So despite his reputation, you could say, but despite his issues, and despite his bad boy image, his reputation continued to grow. He continued to receive commissions from various patrons across Italy. People wanted his art, despite the fact that he was sort of this bad boy. He was a murderer. He was a fugitive, and he was all of these different things. And he was known to have this fiery, very fiery sort of hot temper, and he got himself in trouble all the time. His death sort of remains a mystery, which adds kind of layer and sort of this intrigue to his entire, tumultuous life. He died at the young age of 38 in 1610. So, he had to go on the run in 1606. So basically 4 days later, he had died. Exactly what happened, we don't know. Some people say that maybe it was due to him, he got into a fight and he died of his injuries. Others said he maybe got sick through a fever or something else. Nobody really knows. But we do know that after his final years of, fleeing from the murder charge that he had over his head in Rome, that he did, live in different places, including Naples, Malta, and Sicily. So he sort of, even in those 4 years, he was running around into different places. Others thought that maybe, he could have been poisoned by some enemies, that maybe from the man that he killed, maybe they caught up with him and they poisoned him. But despite this, his life sort of had this echo of intensity that you can really see sort of in some of his artwork, this sort of really, really intense artwork using the light and the dark shadows. So it's sort of like this really bad boy image. He really influenced a lot of great artists. Peter Paul Rubens was influenced by him, as was Rembrandt and many other artists. So he really was this artist who not only did he die, at a very young age, but he also influenced artists after him, many of the great artists after him. So if you'd like to be able to read a little bit more about this, I've written a blog entitled Caravaggio, the bad boy of art, and his lasting impact. And you can read a little bit more about him, a bit more about his life, and really learn a little bit more about this man who is known as the bad boy of art. This is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate you. And we hope that you'll join with us, that you'll become part of our community and spend a few minutes each week to learn something new about art. We love art. We believe that the world would be a rather dull place if we did not have art in it.